Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany. How are you? We do anything fab related on this channel and today is no different. This is, I guess, kind of my late October, like November-esque yarn corner. I hope it's okay that it's late. I think maybe the next video I do will not be like a December yarn corner, but everything that I've made in 2024 because I missed 2023 and so many of you guys have told me how you missed it, so I will definitely do it for this year. And I have so many pieces that I've just made that are my own patterns, so I'm really excited to see what I got up to. And it's gonna be a hefty video to make, but I'll do it for you guys. I'll do it. The video is kind of late because I did end up filming a yarn corner but didn't like it, or I just felt like I didn't do a lot that like kind of needed a whole video, so I kind of put it off, did a little bit more knitting, and I feel like I got so much more done and there's so much more to show you. And I'm more excited to show you guys because we actually did finish quite a few pieces. If you're new here and you don't know what my yarn corners are, I talk about everything that I've made this month, everything that I'm making, things I finished, anything yarn related or knitting related, I will talk about in this video. Normally we would also have like knitting or yarn acquisitions, but again, I like to put it at the beginning of the video so everyone knows, so you guys can keep me accountable. But I am on a yarn ban until the end of December, so I have not bought any yarn. I don't know why. I initially thought it was going to be super hard, but every time the months go by, I'm like, oh, nothing's up. Everything's the same. We're all Gucci. So if I can do it, you can do it too. I'm interested to see what I come up with like for January and see like what goals I have for my yarn buying and what I want to do with that. So okay, we'll start off with finished pieces. After I finished at like end of October, I was kind of in not like a knitting rut, but almost just like really down because I just felt like I had so many whips going on and I wasn't finishing any of them because all of them were like sweater or like slipover quantities. And I was like, why am I not getting anything done? Whereas like I had like 10 whips. So I ended up writing them all down, and kind of during the streams, if you don't watch, I do knitting streams here on YouTube, 1 p.m. PST Tuesdays, Thursdays. And during those streams, I like wrote down the list. I said, I'm gonna work on these and these are the only things I'm gonna work on. I'm not gonna like freakishly cast on anything because that's what I like to do, because you know, it's just always nice to cast on and do something new. And so I really wanted to finish up some pieces, but in between that I was kind of like, okay, maybe like a little like bypassing rule is if I have a like piece that I don't like anymore, or you know, that's just been sitting in like my plastic bags, that I can kind of redo them and fix them, and that doesn't count as starting a new whip. I ended up kind of going through a clear through of all of my sweaters and all my accessories, and I looked through some of my hats and I found some that I just wanted to kind of spruce up and fix. So the first one I ended up fixing was this guy. This is my typical hat. It's one of my first hat patterns that I ever made. I love her. She was so lovely, but I didn't do a triple folded. It used to be a double folded rib. I ended up doing it triple because I had leftover yarn. Used 3 strands. 1 strand like a random like mohair, like a lace mohair. 1 strand of like Drops Flora, and then 1 strand of this Sunnis Garn yarn that is now discontinued, which is so sad, but I had some left over of that. And I was like, you know what? I might as well just like make this a hat I'm gonna wear, because I feel like it's easy to just like want to finish things just to finish them. But I was like, no, I want to wear these. And I did wear this maybe like a year ago, and I was like, I don't love it. So I ended up just adding a triple folded brim to it, and it is so lovely. Oh, should I put it on with my, I don't want to ruin my makeup, so it's gonna go on like half like this. But I have just been like super obsessed with chunky hats like this. I just love it when the brim is super huge and like it goes like a good portion off of my head. So anything like that I love, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. And then that kind of sparked my I guess, obsession with wanting to make more hats, but then also knowing that I shouldn't cast on anything. So I ended up fixing this hat as well. So this is my typical beanie. It's just all stockinette and lovely. I didn't do it long enough. I always have this issue where I will like not knit this middle section long enough and then it sits right on the head, which I don't like. I love it when there's maybe like this much of the hat that's off of the head. So we ended up just doing that because again, I had leftover Drops Alaska. I held this one strand, Drops Alaska, and I love Drops Alaska. I love how huge this is. I don't know, I just have been not loving the Oslo hat. I think it's cute, obviously, but it's on like 3mm or like 4mm. I just wanted something huge and chunky. I think this is on, I think I did it on 5 or 6. I don't remember, I'll have to check, but I'm loving chunky. The last Oslo hat I made, it was just too small, like just thin wise, not even like small in the head, just like it was too thin. So I gave it to my mom and I'm gonna knit myself a new black one. And the goal is to make like a whole neutral kind of bases for all of my hats in the future. So then I don't know if you guys remember, such a long time ago, I knit the hipster hat and I knitted it with, again, the Sunnis garn that is like discontinued. I don't know the base anymore, but it's really rustic and it was fingering and it was just like, I think too rustic and just looked kind of funny to me. So I ended up just frogging it entirely and ended up switching out the yarn and making my own version of a 2x2 hat, and I love it. Like literally, I just feel like all the things that I knit before, they're getting like glow ups, and that's like my favorite thing. I love watching YouTube videos of people glowing up. So this is me and my knits glowing up. So this is how the hat looks like. I don't know if you remember the hat that I first knit, but this is her again. We did a nice triple fold. I tried to do kind of like a cinching in, but I don't know if I love it. So what I'm gonna do to kind of hide this is I'm gonna sew it down. So it's not sewn down, it's just folded up, but what I'm gonna do is sew it so that the cinching doesn't show as much because it's a little aggressive. But this is knit with, again, one strand Sunnis garn, yarn I don't remember, in their cream color. And then I ended up holding it with one strand, like a mohair silk lace, and then one strand of, I think it was one of my unprocessed, like my non-superwash fingering base yarns from my hand dyed. That's undyed, and I just love the way it came out. I love the look of there being 2 panels for the decreases versus like 1, and I think I'm obsessed. Again, this one, super chunky, super fluffy. I don't know what I'm gonna end up calling this guy, but let me just rearrange the hair real quick. But I don't know if you can see it. It's just so fluffy and so gorgeous. I am so excited to wear this. My mini hat collection grew a little bit, and I'm so happy about that. To continue, even though technically I wasn't supposed to cast on anything, I did cast on one more thing, just because I will talk about it because it is hat related, but it is a whip. It's not finished. I am starting this kind of broken double rib. I'm like obsessed. It is so cool. I'm gonna make it super similar to the 2x2, but I'm gonna make it like more of a fisherman's hat. I've seen it kind of, I think it's on Ghani. I'll post a picture. This is like my inspo of just like a short hat. You know how I was complaining about wanting it to be kind of thick and long? I now want it to be thick and short. So I'm gonna do it with this hat and have this really cool broken rib, and it's been fun experimenting with new things and seeing how they come about. And oh my god, there's like so many more hat designs I have in mind. I'm like so ready to get like browns and beiges, like maybe like a camel hat, just everything and everything hat wise I need. And then maybe after I finish all my hats, because like once I finish all my hats I feel like that's it, I don't need any more. And then I want to make like all my balaclavas I've ever needed, and that's it. So that's kind of what I've been going through, is like looking for things that are missing in my wardrobe and trying to find those with my, I guess, like my stash, and finding how I can use all those up. So it's been really nice. This guy I knit with 1 strand Filoclana Peruvian Highland wool, because I bought one in Europe that I never ended up getting to try, and I think this would be the perfect piece. And then I'm holding it 1 strand Holst Super Soft in, I think they're slate gray. I don't know, I keep calling everything slate gray, and it's not. It's graphite, and they're super soft. And I feel like 4.5, 5, I think is my perfect, even 5.5 is like a perfect hat weight for me. So we love this and we're super excited. Okay, after hats, we went through a little like keychain phase. Bag keychains, like having like a huge keychain on your card and your keys. I'm just like loving the look of those. I just think it's fun. And also I find that I end up losing my keys very often, or like my wallet, or I don't know where I'd place them, because I love switching out bags. It's like my favorite thing to do. And I'm like, where are my keys? I gotta put them in my new bag. So it's nice to have like a really bulky thing to keep. And then like also I've been like decorating your bag. Like I decorated my shoes recently with a lot of stitch marker stuff, and I have been obsessed with that. Anything keychain related, I'm like, yes, please sign me up. And I feel like there aren't a lot of knit keychains. So I had some leftover yarn again. I just have like a lot of miscellaneous, like less than 5 gram kind of esque amounts. And so I decided I wanted to make this. It's a little cherry keychain. It's so cute. I think it's gonna go perfect on like a bag. I just connected it with like a little keychain thing, and it's so freaking cute. Wait, huh? Okay, yeah. So freaking adorable. I used my leftover yarn from the 2 socks that I've made for my birthstone collection, and that sparked my idea to make this other keychain. And I'm making up a heart as well. I don't know, I just thought it was so freaking cute, and I love using stuffing to do anything with, and I just thought that could go in a purse very well. I used, I think, 1 strand of some, like, honestly probably like thread or lace weight yarn that I got from Color Mart, and then I used 1 strand mohair because I just had some pink mohair lying around. And then this guy's not done, but I'm like in the works of being done. This is, if you guys remember, this is my teddy bear. I made him little overalls. As you can see, none of the ends are woven, and it's honestly the worst part is having to weave in the ends. But look at his little overalls when he wants to be, I don't know, looking fresh. So I might make more outfits for him. I was thinking maybe making like a shirt, sweater, and people said hat, but I don't know how I'm gonna get a hat on this guy. Ooh, imagine I make wings for him. That'd be iconic. But I'm thinking about making him a bunny girlfriend, and potentially making a bigger size teddy version, but we haven't had the time. We haven't had the time at all. I've thought about like a teddy, like think about a face and then the zippers at the top, and it's like a little pouch. Oh, the ideas are endless, but the time is limited. So I kind of put that off because I knew it was going to consume my entire life, and I had all these other whips going on. So after my little keychain phase, we started finishing things. I ended up kind of trucking through. I won't put them in any order because I don't quite remember the order I knit them in, but this is the first guy I'll show. This is my Croissant Cardigan. This is how she looks like done and ready to go. Guys, I wove all the ends. Guys, I wove all the ends in. Be really proud of me. I even put in the buttons. The only thing left, I guess, is like my tag, but that will be in a later date. I don't know. This guy, I think it was good that I did the list. The list really helped me kind of see what I had to do and really force myself to do it. Like, I honestly don't even know what was keeping me from knitting this. I think I had like both the sleeves that needed to be done, and then like the body probably. So I just was like putting it off, but then when I did it, it like literally took me 2 seconds, and then I was like, oh wait, I have this beautiful piece now, and I look like I was actually flabbergasted as to how beautiful this looked on me. I was like, I need to make more croissant stuff. So that's what I'm gonna be calling the stitch definition, because oh, is she gorgeous? Sorry, you can kind of see the gray underneath the shirt, but like I try to wear a shirt that I could try on a lot of stuff with. But this is her. I just think it's super cute with the collar. This is kind of how it looks like at the bottom. Oh, look at this silhouette. I don't know. I just feel like super proper, like, I don't know, prim and proper. So I am in love with this. I don't know. I feel like I've been not like scarred by a lot of petite knit pieces, but like her anchor tee and the Sunday tee, I just never wore. I never like loved them. Like I think I love them on her, and then knitting them was super fun, but then when I wore them and tried to style them, it just didn't work. And so I'm really excited about this one because I think I can style it and look really cute in it, and just like it looks super profesh and like so cool. I'm like dying. I want to make so many more croissant. Like I need to make, like I literally need to make so many of them. Like I'm gonna make a full t-shirt version. We're gonna do a long sleeve cardigan version. I gotta do a v-neck version, cardigan v-neck version. I gotta do a sweater version. We gotta do a slip over version. Like I already love my croissant top so much that this guy just needs the full collection. But like, where's the time? I'm gonna have to find it, and I'm gonna have to find yarn that I have in the stash because I think it would be super lovely to use up. I ended up using my Frog Sunday tee for this, so I'm really happy we were able to reuse some yarn and give it some love. I ended up using Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino in the color, I think the whitest white color, and then I ended up using One Strand Drops Flora in there, like white, not the cream white, but the white, and I think the match is perfect. I like that it still gives sweater. Like with the Drops Flora, like I know I've had some issues with some other things like matching with Drops Flora, but I do intend to wear this kind of more fall spring versus spring summer, I guess. So yeah, really happy. So I think this kind of propelled my desire to start putting buttons on everything and finishing stuff, because because you'll see a theme essentially. So the next thing we ended up finishing is this guy. So this is my saddle shoulder, one of my, I guess, first saddle shoulder patterns. It has a really delicate neckline and really small buttonholes, which I really like, and I love a good saddle shoulder. Again, something I want to implement on like literally everything. It's hard when you fall in love with something and you just want to do all of it. So I've been really having to like plan like the next things that I cast on and not cast on too many things. But I can't open this. I have been really loving this. I wore this. So gorgeous. This is Hills Vlog that I got from Inga, and it is so nice. I freaking love it. It is a little itchy, so I don't suggest it for everybody, but if you do like a rustic yarn, it was such a joy to knit. I literally held one strand. It is Hills Vlog tinned, so that was very enjoyable. I don't know why I buttoned it all the way off because I was gonna button it back on me, but yes, super lovely. I ended up not having enough yarn, so she gave me 3 skeins, and what ended up happening was I ended up frogging the back portion of this folded neckline, and I just did this back in like a very similar yarn. So like it looks hella similar. I think I ended up holding 2 strands of Tin Pure Gint. So I would say that you could probably get away with doing Pure Gint with this. It just wouldn't look as heathery rustic, I guess. And then I ended up doing, so I had enough where I could do the full button band in the actual yarn, but I ended up having to do this really gimpy way. I really do not suggest it, but I did a button band, like the other button band that has the buttons on it. So it's just 2 flat, like double knitting, like sides. I ended up knitting it instead of double knit, I knitted it flat. And so I did like intarsia kind of. So like the main one that you could still see was the normal Hills Vlog, and then the Pure Gint was on the back side. And so what I had to do was I flipped it backwards and sewed it onto this section, and then ended up having like enough yarn at the end to kind of do it on both sides. But I don't recommend it. It was not good. I don't suggest it, but I got the sweater in the end, and that's all that kind of mattered to me, because I feel like, again, I've been playing a lot of yarn chicken, and I've been very lucky, but I've also been kind of finessing it. So that's how it's been working, because I also didn't want to buy another yarn. Like, I didn't want to buy an extra Hillsvog because I just didn't think I was going to use all of it. Like, I would probably only use like maybe 20 grams and have a lot left over. And yes, obviously I probably could have used it for something else, but I just was like, I don't need it. I don't need this extra yarn. Let me just try to get away with it. And I also, yeah, I have so much extra yarn that like looks similar that you can kind of get away if it's on the back side. So this is how she looks. Sorry. It is so freaking nice. I think the crew neck looks so beautiful with a saddle shoulder. I think everyone needs a saddle shoulder in their life. This is just, I love just like having the last kind of one unbuttoned, but it's so, I don't know, it's just the perfect color. I think it's in the natural gray. I'm so sorry, I don't remember color. And it's like a perfect like little cardigan. I don't know, I've been really loving like little cardigans recently, and I just feel like dainty, but maybe I have like a little trend. Like this guy, they all kind of give the same energy. So I've been really liking it, and it's just, I don't know, your perfect little cardigan. What more can I say? I don't know, I just feel really cute in it, and I've always wanted a really nice gray cardigan because they're gorgeous, and I think they're really easy to match with stuff. So continuing on with my gray obsession, I ended up finishing my Suzanne dupe cardigan. This guy, goodness gracious. I think I did finish it in the last video, but guess what? Your girl put on buttons. And that, honestly, I think that's what I had to do, was I just had to put buttons on everything and like weave in all the ends, and everything just feels finished, and I feel lighter. Just, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel so good. And I'm like, even before I was like, I don't have any knits to wear, which is delusional. But now I'm like, I have so many, the world is my oyster. So yes, also want to say thank you to everyone on the streams, because we ended up choosing the button colors. I honestly was not going to choose any of those colors initially, but thankfully we did some polls and everyone helped me choose, and it was like literally the best decision of my life. All the buttons are on the store, so if you want the same buttons, you can go get them. And I do plan on making patterns for them. This is my Suzanne dupe, which I think I'm gonna call, so this guy, sorry, I'm everywhere. This guy I'm gonna end up calling the London Fog Cardigan, because my London Fog tee is also a saddle shoulder, so I feel like I'm just gonna make my saddle shoulder patterns all have that name with it. And then eventually I do want to do a saddle shoulder like sweater, saddle shoulder turtleneck, saddle shoulder v-neck cardigan, or like a v-neck. I want like a whole collection of saddle shoulder stuff, because I want them so bad in my collection that I'm upset that my hands can't knit fast enough, but it's okay. We'll get there. And then I also want this guy to be like a little collection. I have been dying because it's so beautiful, but I'll just, sorry, I don't have a good way to show this to you guys at all, but it's just really simple, really nice. I didn't think I would like raglan, because I hate on raglan all the time, but I think it's like slowly growing on me. Like certain things I think you can definitely pull off. I really like this guy. I know I hate brioche, but I think I secretly love it because it's so fun to have, not to knit, but to have. And I hope to make more. I for sure will be making a sweater version. I want to do a v-neck cardigan version, and maybe eventually a v-neck sweater, but that one I don't really care too much for. But this one I'm gonna love to death. It is so good. I knitted this with 6mm. I held it one strand of a hobby kid silk mohair, a 10 pure Gint in the same color that I used for this guy, and I think it's like their medium gray color. And then I held it with one strand Holst Super Soft in one of their gray colors. If you need the exact color, just let me know and I'll look it up, but it is so lovely. It is, oh, like, look at this raglan. It is so good. This raglan is so good. Usually Brioche takes up a lot of yarn, but again, I held this with 6mm. It was a quick knit, not like super quick, but you know what I mean? Like, it was quicker than I thought it was gonna be, and it was lovely. What more is there to say? I look so good. I could style this so easily and look so good. So I'm really happy about it. If you guys remembered, I went through like my super bright color phase. I guess it was like beige, some super colorful stuff, and then I was buying a bunch of gray yarn, and then I guess I became like, I started doing more buying black yarn, and now I'm kind of back into the gray because I've been knitting up all the gray yarn that I bought previously. I thought it would be really cool to try out a colorwork project with my cloud, my Lane cloud that I have, because I want to stretch this yarn out as much as I can. I don't want to like use it on one project and that's it. So I was like, colorwork would be lovely. I think it'd be super fun to try my hand at doing a more, I don't know, traditional looking color work, and this is what ended up happening. I know if you guys saw the last yarn corner, this is my guy. I blocked it and it's so lovely. It's like the perfect weight yarn. It's like, it all comes together so lovely. I cannot get enough of this guy. Oh, it's so good. Like, look at how gorgeous she is. Again, I've hated on circular yokes. I just don't think that they look necessarily like good on me for all of the circular yokes that I've ever done. But not to toot my own horn, this guy fits very well. I ended up doing a German short row just because I feel like you kind of have to for something that looks like this. The way that the Lane Cloud stripes, I think, is also really perfect. It's just like the perfect single row, and then like each row is like a different color. That was really fun. I think I plan on naming this the Snowflake Sweater, but that could be changed when I look on Ravelry and see if there's lots of Snowflake sweaters. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Again, I think it's perfect for the winter time. It still hasn't gotten like too cold here, so I'm hoping I can really wear these when it gets a little bit more frosty. I ended up holding this with one strand of Whack Ecolana, one strand of lace mohair, and one strand of alpaca fulgur trad in putty. So I think the putty, because putty is a little bit more white, it gives it kind of a more marled effect, but the marl is so light that it's almost a heather. We have just been really liking how that looks, and I feel like I look really festive. I don't know, so maybe this is gonna be my Christmas sweater that I decide to wear, but yeah, the frickin' Lang is so beautiful. Again, this one is a little lighter than my Lang that I used here. But again, I would love to make a little collection. We're gonna make a little collection. I'm definitely gonna make it slip over. I wanna make a cardigan. I wanna make, people had suggested me making, like, we could do a hat. We could do a balaclava. We could do a scarf. Mittens? Oh my God, we could do mittens. So the options are endless, and I do feel like we could use up so much scrappy yarn. Be really happy with the amount that I can get away with this Lane Cloud, because I swear if I were to weigh my Lane Cloud, I think it has like 100 grams. Yeah, 100 grams. I probably only used like 30. So we'll get to it, and maybe we'll start steeking, but I'm a little scared. But again, I also don't want to knit this flat. So I was just finishing a lot of button bands and stuff like that, and I remembered that I had this April in my I got a whip corner that likes to hide away and pretend like it doesn't exist. And I had been frogging a lot of stuff too. So recently I ended up frogging my blouse number 1, and I ended up frogging my, I think it's sweater number something, but it's like the mesh one. I ended up frogging both of those because I was like, I know I'm not gonna wear these. These are just not my style. So I was like contemplating frogging this April cardigan. And I tried it on stream, and everyone was like, no, she's cute, don't you dare. So I was like, okay, fine, I guess we'll just finish it. And I finished it. I had 2 sleeves left and the band. So I just ended up doing it, and then we finished her. I ended up also doing a double band here instead of the ribbing, just because I like the look of that more on cardigans, and I think it's a little bit more flattering on me. But she's not done. Like, the knitting's done, but I don't have small enough buttons. So this is just what it looks like, if you can imagine. A button up like this. And I think it's really nice for just like a basic light cardigan that is not like super tight fit, but you know, it's not like baggy. It is quite close to the skin, but I think would look great with, I don't know, anything really, like literally anything. So now I have 2 black cardigans, which I don't mind because the other one I have is more baggy and thicker. And finishing this kind of made me want to work on my black yarn. So I took out all my black yarn and I designated, I guess, jobs or like projects for them. And it feels good to know that they're gonna have something at the end. And I hope to work on them soon. We just don't have enough arms. I keep saying that. It's just impossible. But if you want a video, I could definitely do a video just talking about the black yarns that I want to finish. And also I was thinking about doing potentially like a winter plans video of all the other stuff I want to cast on, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. This is my brioche jacket that I've been working on. I have worked quite a bit more on this, but again, it's in like this in-between phase where I'm afraid I don't have enough yarn and I don't want to knit enough to find out, because then I'll have to go buy yarn. So I'm kind of like living in this limbo. Ended up finishing one sleeve. I do have to redo the collar, like I've said before, because I'm not quite happy with, it just doesn't go up enough, and I want it to I just want it to go up a little bit more. That's all. But that's kind of what it's looking like. You can see I was watching a drama and they had so much knitspo. It was like crazy. And one of the guys was wearing like essentially this exact color brioche with a collar, but it had like a really thick button band here. So I think instead of having a zipper, I might just add a button band and it will look gorge. But hopefully we will do a zipper in the future. But yeah, I've been just really into brioche. I think the look of it is really nice. I don't know, I feel like brioche is really like classic, and I see it everywhere. Like whenever I go to like any type of store in any mall, there'll always be brioche. I find that that's like the one that's like always something that comes back every year. So having that in my wardrobe again, I think would be just a lovely staple. This one I knit with 1 strand, knitting for all of Kid Silk Mohair, and then 2 strands in whole super soft in their graphite. I'm hoping we'll have enough. I do have about this much of the cone left. I only have 5 of the mohairs. I do think I'm gonna need a 6th one. So that guy has been kind of put in the back, but she still gets quite a bit of love. So I started a cable cardigan, which I think I'm gonna frog. It looks like this. I do like it, but I think right now it's like not for me at this current moment. I might bring her back again, but I want to use that yarn and make like a brioche cardigan, like a v-neck version of my Cezanne one, just because I think this would look a little bit better without the mohair, because this is, I'm holding it 1 strand, Kid Silk Mohair, 1 strand of a creme cassol yarn, and then 1 strand of my Manostil Uruguay. And the yarn is super soft, like it's so fluffy. I just think it would be perfect for a brioche. I think for the cable that I was trying to do, I need something that's more structured and more defined. So I think I might need to just find a really nice yarn in the stash. After finishing all of those pieces, I was like, okay, you know what, Tiffany, we get to treat myself to some cast-ons, because I also finished up my second pair of my ruby sock, which I had been putting off, but because I put it on the list, I was like, okay, we got to finish it. It's because my goal was to get under 5 or 5 and lower whips, and one of the whips was this guy, so I just put it out because I was like, you know what, I gotta finish this because I want to get some cast-ons. So we ended up casting on a few things. I started this guy. Sorry. It doesn't look like anything. I will have to show you what is the inspiration, but this is kind of a yoke. It is going to be kind of a zipper sweater, zipper cardigan type thing. I'll show a picture here. That's my inspo. It's going to be 2x2 ribbing, going to be a high mock neck, again 2x2, and the zipper is going to go from the top to the bottom. I pray it's going to look nice. I think I have hope. Please. We'll try my best, and we'll see how she comes out. I'm holding this with 1 strand alpaca folgotrad and putty, because that is for some reason my favorite alpaca folgotrad. And I've been loving alpaca folgotrad because it's just a nice alternative to add when you want an extra little bit of bulk, but you also don't want to add like that look of mohair. It just gives it like the perfect finish. And I'm holding it with 1 strand. I think it's the Hobbies Friends Extra Fine Merino, and then 1 strand of Sunscarn putty. In Sunday. I have had Sunday for so long that, like the Sunday specifically in putty, that I was like, you know what, yes, this would be perfect, just because I think it gives, it's like an off-white gray, and it's just perfect compared to just like having a basic white. So I think I have high hopes for this guy. Unfortunately, if it doesn't come out, I'll be really sad. And I did this really just simple drop shoulder, and I actually really like how this looks. I used to not like this drop shoulder, but it's growing on me. So hoping I can knit more of this. It has been kind of like my main whip, and I haven't kind of strayed too far away from it. Another thing I ended up casting on and finishing is this scrap pillow. I wanted to do a scrap thing on the streams, but I ended up just finishing this, so I'll just write a pattern and we'll put it out soon. But this is, okay, ignore this because I do have to block this guy so then it gets to 40 by 40. But this is just a pillowcase. I really liked, I don't know, I just wanted to do some like a different style, like a different style pillow, and this kind of has that kind of broken rib but with really big knit panels, and I don't know, I think this really gave me that inspiration to do like broken rib. I've been really into kind of doing fat broken ribs, and we love it. I was looking for stuff in the stash to use up, and I had this brown yarn that has like teal specks to it. You can't see it because I held it with another strand of the Rico Make It Tweed, and I love the Rico Make It Tweed. I just haven't been able to find projects for it that I love, and this mixture just worked out perfectly, that I just couldn't not knit it. So yeah, I ended up holding 2 strands of the brown yarn, and I had 2 skeins. It's from Knit Crate, so you can't get any more, but I think any sort of brown DK weight yarn would look really amazing with the Make It Tweed. And yeah, I used up both of those skeins, and I used up some of my Rico Tweed, which I've been meaning to use. So yeah, really happy with how this came out. And again, I would love, imagine this on a hat, this combo, maybe even like more accessories. I don't know. I even think like a headband or like a, whatchamacallit, like a coffee mug would look so nice with this. Like a tea snuggie? I don't know. I will block this. I did end up doing like holes here so we could have buttonholes on the side. So this guy does fold back up, and I'll have buttons here that you can kind of clasp, because I don't know, I didn't really have an idea as how I wanted to do the edges, because I didn't want like at the very end, like, I don't know, I probably could have added a zipper at the bottom. That probably would have saved me some time, but I don't like installing zippers, so this is absolutely fine with me. And we use stash. Oh, we use stash and we feel good. After that, I ended up casting on another thing. Okay, it's not too bad. I didn't end up casting too many things, but this is just the beginnings. I didn't get too far on it, but this is the beginnings of hopefully a saddle shoulder open crew neck slip over. Sorry, it's too many words, but in order for me to describe exactly how this is going to look like. So this is the back. It's going to, I guess, be quite similar. It's going to be, I guess, the London Fog vest. I think this is going to be the London Fog vest because, again, it's a saddle shoulder. And it's going to be like this. It's going to be crew neck. We're going to have like the dainty little bun bands, and I don't know. I think it would be really nice. I ended up holding this with 2 strands, Essayer, Tiffany. Yeah, I got that right. In Tiffany, and I'm excited to use this all up. I think I have 5 skeins, and I think it'll probably use up all of my skeins. And it just looks so nice. I'm so excited to wear this. So good, and I think it'll be really nice. Okay, it'd just be really nice to have. Again, this was kind of my inspo, but it's not exactly entirely the same. I think I'm gonna do my own twist on it, but very similar vibes. I'm holding this with 4mm, so it is quite small for my liking, but I felt that the 4.5 would have been way too much for the Tiffany, and I didn't want to add any more yarn. I thought that kind of having a nice lightweight version would be really nice, because I do think I ended up using 4mm on this guy. So I wanted to be at least a little bit consistent. And yeah, I've kind of been having this in my project bag just to bring around because it's small enough that I can kind of have it wherever I go. I guess this guy has also been on the back burner. It's another saddle shoulder, but it just has stockinette, like there's no ribbing to it. I don't want to keep going because I'm unsure as whether I like it or not. So I do feel like I might have to end up frogging some stuff, but in essence, I do think it's very beautiful. The thing is, I'm really iffy on how I like this band. I don't know, like, even though it's there, I don't know if I love it. So I don't know if I should just do ribbing, or maybe I just fold it so it has a very thin stockinette edge. Haven't decided yet, so she's kind of on the fence. But I do think it'll look nice as more of like a jacket. Like, I would love if I was able to like sew in a lining, but I don't think I'm that good right now. I do think I just need to do this and then finish it and have it, and it'll just be like a nice little saddle shoulder I have in the collection. So hopefully, yeah, like even like look at this, me just hiding all the things that aren't finished yet. Like, it's actually really nice. But I do actually think it's really nice. I held this with 1 strand drops air and then 1 strand of just like a white mohair, and it's super fluffy, and again I think would look really good for the winter time. But you know, I think I'm being a little excessive having like 7 new sweaters for the winter time, but I don't know, I love knitting them, so I can't even pretend like I'm gonna stop. Updates on my Siren Tee. I lost yarn chicken, which is fine, but I ended up getting to the body ribbing, and we still have 1 more sleeve left. So I think I will have to go buy some drop Stacey yarn, but I am gonna wait for a sale and see what happens there. But I am gonna continue on because I want a turtleneck version of like a sweater and also like a top. So I started knitting up this, which I'm gonna have to get more yarn because I didn't buy enough, but this is kind of the beginnings of a back portion of a Siren top that I'm gonna make. So it's gonna be sleeveless and it's just gonna have like a turtleneck, and I think it's gonna be gorgeous. I've seen, this is my inspo. So gorgeous, so good. I'm knitting this with Phil Colana Anina. I've never tried it before. I saw it on Etsy and I was instantly tempted because I was buying something else. Okay, that's what happens. It's like a really dark chocolatey brown. It's very gorgeous, and I want a top like this. Would have been great for fall if we could have gotten it together, but it was not going to happen. This is what it looks like. It's in the color 975. Hoping to get to it, but yeah, like if you think about it, I actually don't really have that many whips going on right now. Okay, we finished so many things, it's crazy. So yeah, I think that's all the updates that I have. I feel like if I finish anything, I'll probably just put it in the last video of the year. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, push notification bell if you want to be notified when I post next. I hope that was interesting and maybe gave you some inspiration or design ideas. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one.